Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Welcome to New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, and we're going to be here for 2 hours today to talk to you. So start calling in. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call. We're going to be joined a little bit later by licensed marriage and family therapist, Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris. Right now, I've got licensed professional clinical counselor Becky Brown with me. How you doing, Becky?
Hi, Brian. It's so fun to be back. I am so grateful for you stepping into the role of host as Chris wanted to focus more on his practice. But man, it's been great to see you shine.
Oh, and
I love, I love being here. It's awesome.
Yes. Well, it's great to be here. I don't have a practice, so, I'll be here as long as you need me.
That's awesome. That's good.
What's on your mind today?
Well, we talk about recovery being for everyone. We talk about it all the time. And yet a lot of times people will say, well, no, recovery is for somebody who has addiction or substance abuse and behavioral issues. And yes, that is true. However, if you were just to read through the 12 steps, you might find some practice that you need to engage in. But, a lot of times we'll get the question, what does work look like in recovery? What does that mean when we say work your recovery? And our founder, Steve Arterburn, was given a talk one time and reminded us of the step work starting with coming to an end of ourselves. It's part of that process of recognizing that we don't know everything and we need help along the way. And we have extreme limitations, and the work of recovery will help us. It's the whole idea of the same brain that got you into the mess isn't going to be the same one that gets you out of the mess. So when we work recovery, and that can come in all different kinds of forms, group work is essential. We are part of a redemptive community, and it can make a difference. But he gives us a couple of steps to think about. So one is see. We are able to see what is really there, that there's no denial. It's a reality check. The second one is say it. We confess. We make our list of things that we've done wrong or been done wrong to us, and we make amends where possible. Own it. We take responsibility. We work our side of the street, and that refers to the work that we do. We're not focused on what everybody else needs to do. We're focused on what we need to do. The next thing is to release it. We forgive ourselves and we forgive others. We don't carry the weight of that shame and the guilt throughout our lives. The next step is reverse it. We go towards freedom. We're not shackled, like I just said, we're not shackled to the past. We have a new identity in Christ. And, that's why we're called New Life. We want you to have that transformation. And then we preserve it. We continue to do the work. We all have work to do until we meet Jesus face to face. We pass it along to others because we know people who are stuck in shame and stuck in guilt, stuck in the problems that they've had all their lives, whether it is addiction to a substance or behavior, or maybe it is just an attitude change that you need to work on. Now, I want to add one thing about this kind of work. Those of us who have been in recovery for a while and or even as a counselor when you're leading a group, sometimes you'll see that there are things that come up that they're just not dealing with, and it could be trauma and unresolved trauma. We want to get to the root of that because a lot of addictions, if not all of them, are illegitimate ways of dealing with the pain of the past, but we need to have legitimate ways of healing, and that's what we want to do. We want to get to the root of the problem and heal. Take Your Life Back is a great book to explore this, but we'll have more about that later. But I just want to encourage you, if you've never thought about recovery, join a life recovery group.
Yes.
Just read the 12 steps, see what you learn.
Yep. You can find out more information about all of this at newlife.com. We're going to get to the phones when we come back here on the program. Sophia, we're going to get to you first, and everyone else who wants to call in and ask a question of Becky Brown, and also Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris, who will be here in a few minutes. Give us a call, 1-800-229-3000. Can't wait to hear from you.
After I found the pornography on the internet, I said, you either get help or I had to leave this household.
Are you struggling with porn? New Life's Every Man's Battle Intensive can help.
When I went to Every Man's Battle right from the very beginning, I realized that this is every man's battle, not just my battle.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
It really was a no-shame zone. I've now got a herd of men in my corner. That support system is huge.
Get help on February 28th in Orange County, California. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com.
The tools that you guys gave me really has changed me essentially in every way.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50 on your registration.
It was just life-changing.
1-800-NEWLIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We took the day off yesterday, not because we wanted to, but because we had to. So if you tried calling us and couldn't get through, that's why. But guess what? We're going to make up for it today by being here for 2 hours. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call. I've got Becky Brown here to answer your questions, and we're going to go right to the phones. Here is Sophia calling in from Erie, Pennsylvania. Hi there, Sophia. Thank you for listening to us online.
Well, thank you for taking my call. I'm a longtime listener.
We appreciate that.
It took a lot for me to call in, actually, but your programs are so pertinent to me that many times I didn't even have to. I found the answer in someone else. So.
But here's a question that you have that maybe hasn't been asked by somebody, and so now you felt,
well,
I better call in.
Yeah.
And maybe us talking to you is going to help somebody else in the same way that it's helped you.
Well, I hope that it does. So my question is, how do I stay with my abusive spouse of 40 years that I was in counseling and on the verge of leaving, and then suddenly he received diagnosis of Parkinson's and FTD, which is frontotemporal lobe dementia. It's quite different from regular dementia in its form and its progression. Do I continue to seek further counseling up north now? I had to move from the south up to the north so I can have my support system around me, and he also does have a son up here who can help me. I was too alone down south with him, and his behavior, it's not getting better, of course. His core personality is such that he can be very nasty. So now with the dementia, it's just a natural occurring thing. And no one else would take care of him. And if I was to be totally honest, the biggest reason I am continuing to take care of him is there was financial abuse in my marriage as well. And in order to qualify him for services without the state and government taking every penny I worked 40 years to earn from me, there would be 5 years of, the 5-year look-back thing. Okay? So while I was in the South, I did change at least our bank accounts to reflect just in my name. We also have an estate plan, which encompasses everything, living wills and non-durable power. You guys know what an estate plan is, correct?
Yes,
So I couldn't do this by myself any longer, and I'm up here, and his dementia is worsening and worsening, and I find that speaking to him is pointless now at this point. Regarding anything, even superficial conversations.
Right. So, Sophia, let me just ask you this. You said you had a counselor before. Do you have a therapist now that you're working with?
No, I don't. That was my question.
Okay.
Wendy's license did not exceed the state of Florida.
Yes. Now, I have another question. Do you have community support though for you personally, like friends, family, somebody around you?
Yes, that's why I moved back to
Okay, and then
Pennsylvania.
one last question is, sometimes with dementia, I heard a doctor once say, if you've seen one patient with dementia, you've seen one patient with dementia. It has many
Correct.
different variables, and
Yes.
it can be managed with medication many times, if you have somebody who has outbursts and that kind of thing, but there has to be a plan in place. This isn't all on your shoulders, Sophia. And so I get what you're talking about with all of the financial stress. And I'm wondering if his son has any part of this responsibility that is shared with you.
And that's the other reason I came up. He did swear to me that he would be here when I needed him to be. And so part of the plan is for him to spend some time with his father out of my abode here. I moved into an apartment. I'm trying to prepare myself. So, yes,
Okay.
he is willing to contribute maybe once every 6 weeks or so. And then, of course, I have my sister friends who I go out with, and I do get out.
Right.
But I
So,
don't get
but
out as much as
Sophia,
I like because I'm in the middle of a move too. So
right.
I have
There's a lot.
multiple sclerosis, and I'm
So,
exhausted.
right. So there's a lot going on. You have a lot of different factors that are happening with you. The move itself, the relationship, the dementia, your health, your connections, the financial part of it. And yes, you need a counselor. That's the original question that you asked, and we can get you connected with somebody in your area. But here's the bigger question: is what would divorce solve at this point?
Well, that is not the direction that the Lord is telling me to seek any
Okay.
longer. That's the problem.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not a problem. It's like, okay, if I'm not
It
going to
is
go
a
to
problem
divorce,
for me. It is.
okay,
I don't understand why the Lord brought me this awareness down south. Wendy made me aware of very many things, and I am a severe codependent empath. This is
Okay.
why I stayed.
right, okay.
And
But
she
this is
was
right,
still of the thought that I should leave, but then I came up here for
right,
help because
okay.
I was
So,
failing.
so now you're in a different place, in a different season, and that's where a therapist right now, you've made a decision to stay due to what you feel like the Lord has told you. You need someone who's going to help you with this next
And
chapter.
financially, too. Is that
Yes.
selfish? Is that wrong? Is the Lord saying that's not why to stay? Because, I mean, I'm the one with the finances. I made him save, and he didn't start until he was
Sophia,
50,
Sophia,
so he has nothing.
Sophia, listen. Yes, there's a lot. There's so much that you're dealing with. It's overwhelming you. And that's where the therapeutic process can help you as you sort these things out. I see Jacqui Mack. Jacqui, why don't you step in on this conversation?
Hello, Sophia. Yeah, it sounds like you are in process and you've made some moves and some changes, and the changes aren't really coming from you. It sounds like they're coming from God, and you've got more questions than answers. And you need someone you can really talk with on a regular basis and maybe multiple times a week to really unpack this and get some clear understanding. And I think if you don't already have a great Christian counselor, we can certainly help you get one.
Yeah.
That is your next best step.
Yes.
So stay on the phone and we will put you in contact with somebody there in Erie, Pennsylvania. I think we should also send you a copy of the book, Take Your Life Back. That might be a good resource. It's also available for purchase online. But Sophia, stay right where you are and we'll get to you in just a little bit. Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris, thanks for joining us today. Good to see you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so Jacqui and Becky are now here to answer your questions. 1-800-229-3000. Hey, the Intimacy and Marriage Intensive is coming up next weekend. It starts February 14th. And Becky, you're going to be one of the presenters. What are some of the topics that you're going to be discussing?
Oh, yes, we are looking forward to having a great group of couples who are investing in their marriage. A lot of times we invest in divorce, but we don't invest in our marriage. So we want you to come out and be with us. I'll be talking about the love connection and the obstacles that get in the way of that connection. I'm also going to be talking about making a commitment to a marriage that's good for both of you. A lot of times we can feel, even like what Sophia was just talking about, her journey has been really selfless. Like it's been putting someone else above her. And while we agree in that mutual submission, we want it to be healthy for both of you. And so we'll talk about that. You're going to hear from JJ West, who's going to talk all about attachment and understanding why we do connect. And then Laura Manja McDonald is going to talk about how trauma impacts our relationships and, how to understand how we truly can connect. We really want you to have some practical insight. You're going to go away with great tools and great support for a great marriage. That's what we do it for.
And you can get all the details about it at newlife.com. If finances are an option that's keeping you from attending, we strongly encourage you to call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We might be able to help you, really. We don't want finances to be what keeps you away from the intensive. Again, more details at newlife.com. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. And now we're going to talk to Michelle in Dallas, Texas, who's listening or watching us online. Hi there, Michelle. Thank you for calling in today.
Hello. How are you guys?
Doing well, thanks.
I'm calling because about a month ago, almost a month ago, I had an abortion. It's not something I wanted. It was something the other party wanted, and they were being abusive about it, and I went through with it. And looking back, I should have gotten family and the police involved. But anywho, he left me a week later after he promised that he wasn't going to leave me. And for some reason, he still wants to keep in contact. And he told me that his ex is staying with him for 10 days because she's having water problems in her apartment, and that was the ultimate slap to my face. I'm just so angry and so hurt. I don't know how to move forward. I mean, I am seeing a therapist, but from a biblical standpoint, it's kind of hard not to be mad at God, and I know that it's not God's fault. But I'm so mad at this person. How can they be so selfish to just think about themselves? I'm left without my baby. I'm left without this individual, which at the end of the day, I don't think he's a good person. He's not a good person. Mm-hmm. And, abortion, and at least in my case, is not the right choice. And if I could go back, I would never do it because Planned Parenthood, they don't tell you the consequences it takes on your health, your emotions. It's just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, Michelle, that's a lot. It's so painful when you're going through this loss of many levels.
Yeah. Michelle, how can we help you? What's your question for us?
I just don't know how to move forward. I mean, I'm still going on with my routine, but I just don't know how I can heal from a biblical standpoint. And I feel like I'm not being godly because I have so much hate for this individual.
So let's pause on the you being godly part for a moment. I think you got to back up some and just be human. Let's start there. All right. You made some human choices, not godly ones, human choices. And so did the person you were intimate with. And the hate and the anger and the frustration, all of that is a part of you being in the grief process. You've suffered several losses And so I would slow down and pay attention to what is happening to you, and also where you are in this, because I think you're really angry with him for forcing this choice on you. And I think you're probably angry with yourself for making the choice. And that's okay. You've got to allow yourself time and space to move through those feelings. And I hear the music coming, so I'm going to leave you with this last thought that I have. He is not a good person for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say when we come back, Michelle, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't hang up, Michelle.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for calling in, because this isn't a easy topic to discuss. For you to call in, to have the courage to call in and want to talk about this. We want to help you, so stay on hold. We're going to take a short break, and then we will continue talking to you and everyone else that's calling in at 1-800-229-3000. We'll be with you momentarily.
Here at New Life, we want you to have transformation. And so we have created the New Life courses, and you meet weekly on Zoom with a coach or counselor. You're going to have teaching as well as that group connection, because we know how powerful that is. We hear that all the time about our intensives, that they love the information, but the group process is so powerful. And many of you have been hesitant to participate because you're not sure, the timing, the price. The New Life courses are going to meet you right at that area of need. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful, and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us.
Embark on your journey of personal growth and self-discovery in April with a New Life course. Lose It for Life, Grief Recovery, or Divorce Recovery. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Club New Life changes lives.
You guys came along into my life in 2022. That was a really, really difficult year of my life.
You can help New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people by joining Club New Life today.
I began to really process a lot of things that I've needed to for a long time, and y'all were a very big part of that.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
I came out of it having never experienced anything like that, and y'all were there.
Join today and help continue the message of hope to a troubled world.
I knew I had to keep going, and I joined Club New Life, and y'all have been the resource that has now been a light for my wife and I.
Go to newlife.com/CNL, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places.
Keep doing what you do, because it makes a difference.
newlife.com/CNL. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Michelle, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for holding through the break. So we heard what Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris had to say, and now we're going to get some words from Becky Brown as well. Becky, what would you tell Michelle?
Well, Michelle, I'm not sure that you realize that you've been traumatized, not only from the relationship, but also from the abortion experience. And as you share with us what your journey has been like, it's like you're reading the weather report. It's this flat affect. And I'm saying that not only for you to recognize that, but also for the listening audience. A lot of times when we go through really difficult things, our brain just kind of shuts down to a level where we're trying to do the next thing. I'm wondering, Michelle, do you have people around you other than this man who love and care for you and that know this part of your story yet?
People at my church do. Only my pastor does. I'm not, and some ladies who've gone through it when they were my age.
Okay. That's very important, because the shame that you're feeling is going to keep you isolated. And so you want to push through that. And those people are going to be safe for you. And you're going to a therapist, so that's going to be good. And it's okay for you to disconnect from this man.
Mm-hmm. It's necessary.
It's necessary. And it's going to be hard. And, I'm wondering what keeps you from doing that now? What is your thought when you think, I just don't want to talk to him anymore? I can't have him in my life. What's the story you tell yourself?
Sorry.
That's okay. It's hard, Michelle. It's very hard.
I just want to tell them what a selfish person they are.
Right.
And
so when we're to, okay, go ahead.
And he hasn't told his parents, and he doesn't plan on it. And I don't understand why he felt the need to spend 2 weeks with his ex. I just want to tell him how I feel and not talk
Right.
to him ever again. Yeah.
Right.
When you tell him how you feel, when you think about telling him how do you feel, what do you imagine will happen?
Nothing. Anger, because he's an angry person.
No, I mean for you.
accountability.
For you. I have an aversion to him already, so let me just get that out there. I don't like how he feels, and what's going on with him isn't even important to me right now. I'm really concerned about you, and I want you to be focused on you and concerned about you. You are giving him way too much energy. He's gotten way more from you than he ever deserved to begin with, but he's continuing to get that. So I want to know, when you say those things, you're a selfish person, how could you do this? When you hear yourself saying that to him, what does it do for you?
I feel better telling him how I feel, but I also feel bad for myself, because how could I have allowed myself to be treated like this?
Well, I think that we want to be loved, and we listen when people tell us they love us, and people lie, and they use words to trick and confuse us. And you wanted to believe in him because you wanted to be loved. And so people aren't all good and kind and wonderful, not even people who profess Christianity. And so you have to take your life back and not allow him to have anything else to say in it or do it. The question about why he would spend time with his ex is obvious.
Michelle, one of the things that you can do, and you can do this with your therapist, is you can write out what you would say to him, and you can process with your therapist so that it is in a safe place that you get to express yourself and you get to do this journey in a safe way. Like Jacqui said, we really don't want to expend any more energy towards him, and it will be for your betterment going forward. I think I would love for us to send her Changes That Heal. And I just want to encourage you, Michelle, stay connected to the women at the church, stay in your counseling, process, and continue to do the healing. You are worth it. You are worth it.
And you mentioned earlier being angry with God and maybe feeling some type of way about that. God's big. He's a big guy. He can handle your upset. And he's the one you should take it to.
So, Michelle, we're going to send you a copy of the book, Changes That Heal. I think you should also sign up for the Take Your Life Back online course that begins April 7th. And what words of encouragement would you give to Michelle? And we've given her plenty already, but if she calls this guy or something and he says, "Hey, baby, I'm sorry, let's start all over again," is that an option?
My words are no. Don't call him.
Yeah.
He has nothing to offer you but pain. And you deserve better.
Yes, Michelle, you do deserve better. He showed you who he is. Do not waste any more time of your precious life on him.
Yeah.
And we'll pray for him too. I want restoration
Yeah.
for him, but not
For
with
sure.
you, Michelle.
That's right. Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of your questions. Dee, Peggy, Mary, everyone else, stand by.
Restore gave me strength. It gave me more belief in my faith. I met up with a group of women that are going through things that they had no control over.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we can still be restored. We are not stuck because someone else made a decision. That God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives. Our wellness does not hinge on another person's decision.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, May 2nd through the 4th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We were speaking to Michelle a few minutes ago, and I suggested to her that she sign up for the Take Your Life Back online course, which begins the week of April 7th. Becky Brown is here. She's a licensed professional clinical counselor. She's also the president of New Life Ministries. Tell us a little bit about what the Take Your Life Back online course is about. Who's it for? What does it cover?
I love that question. You know, Take Your Life Back is written for people who need to know their own power in repairing their life. There's a phrase in recovery, we say, work your side of the street. A lot of times we get focused on what somebody has done to us or what has been done to us, and we get all over into that side. It's just similar to what we were just talking about. And yet the work that we have to do is our side. It's what we need to do to understand what healing looks like for us. What are the changes that we need to engage in? And, you know, one of the great things about a Take Your Life Back course is that you will have a group of people to help you along the journey. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another. And we want to find that power that God has given us to live the life that's transformed, that's whole and healthy. And Take Your Life Back will address also, you know, if you have codependency issues, if you are struggling because somebody else is bigger in your life than you and taking away your choices, that could be a good reason to join us in the Take Your Life Back course.
So this course begins on April 7th. You can find out more about it, register, see what other courses are being offered at newlife.com. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. And now we're going to go to Washington, D.C. Here is Peggy, who's watching us on YouTube. Hi there, Peggy. Thanks for calling in today.
Hi, thank you. My question is, how would you advise an oversensitive person, which I am, to be able to deal with problems in our world these days? I was born and raised in D.C. I love my city. I love my country. But the politics, you know, these days are pretty brutal. And a few weeks ago, I just had to see for myself some of the law and order people that were protesting at the D.C. jail because they were in favor of pardoning these fellas that made such a riot and even caused death of 5 cops a couple years ago. And I got there early. There were only 6 other people there. There was plenty of room, and they would not let me be. And I used a walker, and they surrounded me. They touched me. They got in my face. They made it almost impossible for me to just observe and just shake my head at times when they were saying terrible things, lies.
Okay.
So how can we help you today, Peggy?
It's been 3 weeks, and just talking about it, I'm all nervous inside again and kind of freaked out. How can I stand all the changes coming to planet Earth and the United States if I'm this upset now?
Well, Peggy, sometimes we are taking in all the things around us and then dealing with like the vicarious assault on our system because things are happening to other people. But in your case, you went right out into the midst of it all. And so one thing that I would suggest is that you don't do that. Don't take your walker and go out to a rally where people are chanting for support for violent people, right? So start with focusing on keeping you safe. And that was a curiosity it seemed like you had. You wanted to see for yourself. I understand that. I'm a researcher. I want firsthand account myself. And unfortunately, you can't believe everything you read or hear. You shouldn't believe most of it, honestly, because there's so much misinformation and lies being thrown around. So I get why you would want to go see it with your own eyes and hear it with your own ears. But what you learned is that some places aren't safe. And so don't go to those places. The other thing is that we're listening to, taking in a lot of information, whether it be on TV or on social media. And while we do need to stay informed, that is important, you also want to limit or balance how much you're taking in. So sometimes you're going to need to take a break from the doom scrolling, step away from the phone, step away from the TV. And what I've done, I started this year out listening to Proverbs and being a part of a 31-day Proverbs challenge and getting together with other people and studying a chapter of Proverbs every day. And I've continued that in February. I have different playlists that soothe me. I have different grounding techniques and breathing techniques, things that I will do when I find myself feeling flooded and overwhelmed with the emotions of the world around me. And a good Christian counselor can help you with that, can help you develop a plan and a process to help alleviate some of that fight, flight, or freeze that's happening in your body because of everything that's going on around us.
Well, and I was even going to say to that point, Jacqui, that, Peggy, when you describe yourself as an oversensitive person, that's where I kind of stopped, because it wouldn't matter if it was like a protest or like what you're talking about, Jacqui, where we're taking in all this stuff. If you identify already as being overly sensitive, let's deal with that. Let's not, because we want you to be numb and not have any sensitivity. God gave you those strong emotions, but let's find out where we can heal some of the ways that you've become very just exposed. That's what it feels like when you deal with hypersensitivity. And, it can be everything from really getting to the core wound. What happened? When did you recognize that this started? We do live in a culture where we know so much more than we even have brain capacity to know. And yet here's where we have to focus on the work that we have to do. Peggy, do you have a therapist that you work with?
Well, I wasn't going to mention this, but I actually graduated from therapy about 6 months ago.
Okay.
And, I can call her. I can
okay. You might need a refresher course. Yeah, you might need to go back to school, right? It's, one of the things that we as therapists, we don't think you ever outgrow therapy. You don't graduate and never have anything else to do. You just presented something that was very troublesome for you. And we want you to have that calm and that peace, because the world's going to be as it will be. But where do we find that centered peace? And of course, if we're believers, we've got that, but the world also impacts us. So I want to send her the Heart Handbook by Laura Manja McDonald. I think that'll be encouraging to you, Peggy.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay on the phone and we'll get that in the mail to you. And like Jacqui was saying earlier, when you're endlessly doom scrolling social media and watching all the different news channels and finding out what's going on and everything else, it can just be overwhelming. So may I invite you, not just you, Peggy, but everyone else, just come to our website, newlife.com. We've got so many resources there, so many videos, so many audio clips and everything that will put your mind at ease.
Well, and Brian, here's the thing about the doom scrolling. It is designed to captivate you. This isn't, you just getting online and just happen to go down the rabbit hole. It's, it's everything from the amount of colors that you see, the amount of noise, the headlines, the time that it takes. It is designed to keep you captivated. And so the challenge that we have is, how do I turn it down? And I quoted a phrase from a song this morning in devotions. We were talking about examining our thoughts. Silence the noise in my mind, Lord. Mm-hmm. Help me to be focused on what God wants for us.
Very true. So, it's almost break time. Dee in Flint, Michigan, stay on hold. We're going to get to you when we come back here on New Life Live. And you're still able to call us. 1-800-229-3000 is the number. When we're done with this hour in a few minutes, we're going to be here for another hour to answer more of your questions. So give us a call, grab an open line. And you can also support us financially here at New Life. There is so much that we do. I just mentioned all the videos and everything that we put together, our bookstore that's online. So much that we do to help hurting people. We've helped a number of them already so far today on the program, and there's many more. And we're waiting for them to call us. And if you can partner with us financially by either becoming a Club New Life member, that is a monthly support system that we have here on New Life, or you can just send a one-time donation. We appreciate those as well. But you can get all the details at by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE, also at newlife.com. And that is where you can get all the information from us. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with more of your questions. Dee, you are next on New Life Live.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be
his.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Thanks so much for listening today and for watching as well. My name is Brian Perez. I am here with Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris and Becky Brown, and we're going to do 2 hours of the program today. We're already almost done with hour one, but first we want to talk to Dee, who called in from Flint, Michigan, listening on WSNL. Thank you so much for calling in today, Dee. How can we help you?
Thank you for taking my call. I just have a little dilemma, and I'm wondering if maybe you could help me get rid of my guilt. I have a fiance that I have been with for, it's been fiance for about 3.5 years now. It started when my friend of 21 years and her husband, she passed away, and I went to the memorials with him and church with him, and we cried and grieved together, loved her together, and it just came into, I don't even know how it happened, but we just started seeing each other, and then we started dating each other, and we've had a pretty good time, other than when he asked me to marry him, we started talking about finances and different things, and I don't have as much money as he has, and we had almost come to some kind of an agreement, and then in June we were supposed to be married. We update our calendars every month or so. Went over to update the calendar, and he had scratched our wedding date off from the calendar. And it devastated me. And I thought, oh my, it's probably part of his Parkinson's and his pills. And we don't have a lot of communication, but he's a good man and he's sweet, but he can be very brutal with me. And I just broke up with him on this Monday. And I don't want to do this anymore. He wants me to sell my home, get rid of all of my furniture, because all of his stuff is so much better, and I will have nothing after it's all said and done. And I know what Parkinson's will lead into, and the years of service that I will have, and everything is going to go to his son, because him and his wife built all this, and I am entitled to nothing. So I would just come in with the little bit that I have on my house, and I would leave with the little bit I have on my house. And all the furniture, every single thing goes to his son. And I don't think that's right. And so I'm just trying to feel not so guilty about leaving him.
Dee, the definition of guilt is that you've done something wrong. And in everything that you just said, you have not done anything wrong. And I've never heard of a person who is both brutal and sweet. And so you are correct all along the line. And so, I mean, it's just, if you need somebody to relieve your guilt, I'm here for it. Okay. So,
and I'm going to co-sign.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
You've done nothing wrong, but he's trying to shame you and make you feel as though there's something wrong with you for you not wanting to give everything up and prove your love to him. That's not love. That's control. And it's dangerous. And as you said, he has Parkinson's, and so his health is deteriorating. And you probably made a very wise decision. And I'm sad for you, but happy you made the best choice for you.
Yes. And Dee, what you have to do now is the comfort that you received from having this relationship with him, you have to find in other people. And you have to find in safe people, in people who are able to value you for the amazing person that you are. But it's also going to be sad. You're going to feel sad. A loss of any kind is something that we have to process through. Do you have a group of friends or a community that you connect with regularly?
We go to church together, and we have some wonderful church friends. And he's saved, and so am I. I'm 70 years old, and he's 77. So we're kind of on our last road here, and it's just, I feel like I know that I'm going to put him in a spot because he doesn't have anybody. His son lives clear out in Colorado.
Yes. Listen, you didn't do that. You didn't put him in a spot. It may feel like it, but that's not true. This is the result of who he is and the way that he does relationship. And his son can take responsibility for him or to deal with that. The challenge, I think, in this chapter of life is we think that we just got to do, like that. It's presumed that you guys would be this nice little couple till Jesus calls you home, but that's not true. You don't have to continue with this relationship.
Okay. Oh, just
it's interesting, Dee, that he's not. There's no guilt for him in this.
No, there's none. He won't take any responsibility. He does not want to work with me. And I told him, I said, I can put everything I have into you, and I will for the rest of my life. I will take care of you. One day he's going to need 24/7 care. Mm-hmm. I will be there. I'll do it. And
you just don't want to do that.
I don't want him to pass away and then I have to move into an apartment. It's not fair to me.
And he should love you enough to not want that.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm worthy.
You are worthy. Absolutely. The problem, though, is his thought process is impaired. You said it yourself. There's other factors. And the wise thing for you to do is detach. You would be all in, but we talk about this even at Intimacy and Marriage. We talk about mutual submission. It's not one up, one down. It's like we are both for each other and for the marriage and for the relationship. And that's not what's been happening in this relationship. Again, reminding you described him as brutal and sweet. Not a good picture of somebody you want to spend the last chapter of your life with. And but you're going to have a lot of feelings about it too. So maybe a conversation with his son about your reason for making this decision, and to get connected with some people who can support you in this transition.
And we can help you find people to connect to as well, counselors, when you call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. What resource, do you think there's a resource we can send to?
Healing is a choice. I would send that.
Healing is a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, we will do that. So stay on the phone there, Dee, and we will get a copy of that to you. We're just about done with this hour of New Life Live. If you're on hold right now, like Lisa, stay on hold. We will get to you in just a few minutes because we're going to record another episode of New Life Live. We're going to remain in the studio for another hour to talk to you, to answer the questions about whatever it is you're going through in life right now. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call, and we look forward to hearing from you here on New Life Live. Don't forget that we've got some intensives coming up in just a few weeks, including the Intimacy and Marriage Intensive. That is happening the weekend of February 14th in Orange County, California. Not too late for you to sign up. Details at newlife.com. Also, the Every Man's Battle Intensive is happening at the end of February, that weekend in Orange County, California. The Restore Healing After Betrayal Intensive for Women, that's happening in Dallas, Texas, May 2nd through the 4th. Now, if you're thinking that these intensives are out of your reach financially, call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE to see what's possible. We offer scholarships. They're available to those in need, and we never want finances to keep someone from the help that they need. So again, call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Also, the New Life. Oh, go ahead, Becky.
I was just going to say, and pick up the phone. It can be the hardest thing to do, but it can be the best next step for you.
Yes, indeed. So you can register at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Going to take a pause now, and we'll be doing another hour of the program. We look forward to hearing from you here on New Life Live. God bless you.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE. But when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.